The Big M, the Big Yak, and the Thieving Giraffe. Those aren't Twitter handles. Those are actually nicknames from the 1972 Summit series, which is actually the same name as Richard Bendell's book.
When I saw the series, I was about 7.5 years old, and it was an experience of a lifetime. I remembered it vividly, and when the DVDs finally came out in 2002, that was a chance to revisit it and discover that things maybe weren't quite the way we thought they were. And that's where it all began for the beginnings of this book, which was 10 years in the making.
So the process is you watch the video, then you do your own research, and then you start writing?
I'd say the writing part came after looking at all the stats and discovering that there were discrepancies. And the more I kept watching, the more discrepancies I kept finding. And so I basically just kept going until I had gone through all 8 games of the series. And then I kind of looked back at what I had and started to wonder, what do I do with it now that I have all these corrections and revisions. There were 42 in all, which was 2 out of 3 if you look at it from a percentage perspective. So that's what I had. And the writing of the book actually came after a meeting with the DVD producer in 2007. He was working on the second DVD box set, and a friend of mine introduced me to him. And he was the one that suggested, this is great, I think it's fantastic, and you should write a book.
Did you meet some of the players, some of the coaches that were involved in the 72 series?
I had so much material, if you can believe it. The book is literally 436 pages, 34 chapters. I did have a chance to meet with Ron Ellis in December of 2011. And that was a wonderful meeting. He works with the Hockey Hall of Fame. And so I went to Toronto and showed him what I had. And we chatted for a good hour and a half. And he was very encouraged by what I had done. One of the things I researched was the scrimmage games and intra-squad games that Team Canada played before they faced the Russians. And he said he hadn't seen that. He had never, the players knew the results of those games. They remembered, who played well, who didn't. But he told me it was really nice to be able to, flip open a page and look back on things that he hadn't seen since the training camp way back in '72. As Ron Ellis told me, the players knew through the series that there were mistakes, misallocation of goals and assists, mostly assists. And he said, but it wasn't important. What was important to them was the team and beating the Soviets. And so if somebody else got an assist, it doesn't matter as long as they got the goal they needed to win.
Now, are you going to have more of these sessions to talk about the book?
I certainly hope so. I look forward to sharing the story with everybody. It was, again, 10 years of off and on work, but especially over the last 4 years, it was a true labor of love. Never having written a book, again, learning how to write as I was doing it, and then finding out what I was, to the discoveries, and then trying to, what do I do with this? How do I talk about it? Once I had all that and was able to put it down, get it published, self-published, in fact, it's a story I want to share with people, and I hope that they'll be interested in hearing about it. It was a voyage of discovery, and also I'm hoping to set the record straight, to recognize all the contributions of everyone that was involved for Team Canada and our Russian comrades, because I think the story we have come to know isn't necessarily the real story, and that's why I'm calling tonight. It's the series we thought we knew.
If you'd like to buy a copy of Richard's book, go to Amazon.ca or his Facebook page. Reporting from Welland, I'm Bob, 2 hands on the stick, Romeo.